Welcome to today's show, boys and girls. Today we have Mr. Charlie Pritchett, the Director of Operations at the Acadiana Mall. I've been knowing Charlie a long time, and when I asked him if he wanted to come be a guest on the show, he's like, I'd love to. And like, we're talking, what are you gonna cook? And every time me and Charlie start talking, we talk about barbecue. So we're gonna talk about some deer chili. Actually, we're gonna dub it the Chaffalaya chili because he took the deer in the Chaffalaya Basin where he hunts. So y'all don't go nowhere. We're gonna show you how to do this beautiful deer chili on the Cajun grill right after this. Don't go away. All right, guys, welcome back. Charlie, thanks for being a guest.
Glad to be here, Keith.
Yeah, okay, so we've been knowing each other for what,
27 years?
A long time.
Somewhere in there, long time.
And with that, we've always found a common denominator, which is grilling and barbecuing, right?
Righto.
Yeah, so I know you work at the Acadiana Mall and have for how many years?
Went there in 91, been there 23 years this year.
That's a long, you must be doing something right.
I hope.
And you're a big hunter.
Love to hunt. That's
Big
one reason I
outdoorsman.
still work, so I can hunt.
That's right. But okay, so before you came down to here, what other job you had?
I'm originally from Georgia, and I moved to Louisiana in the mid-70s. I was in the hotel business. I worked Fairmont Hotels in New Orleans, and I worked for a chain of people that had Sheratons. That's how I wound up in Lafayette. We built Hotel Acadiana as the Sheraton Acadiana in '81.
I remember that. Yeah.
The bad times hit with the oil field, and I went to work for another management company, wound up at Toro Hills up in Florine, Louisiana, Sabine Parish.
God's country.
Yeah, plenty of good golf and a lot of fishing at Toledo Bend, lots of hunting in Kisatchie Forest. And got up there, got a telephone call, guy offered me the job at the mall to do the renovation that they did in '91. I went there just for a year, really, to get back to Lafayette. My wife's from South Louisiana, and we wanted to get back home.
Yeah.
Came for a year, 23 years later, I'm still there. So.
Yeah, they like you and you liked it.
So far.
So far.
So far.
And I love your wife, you know that.
I do.
Yeah,
I watch you very closely.
She's my sweetheart. And you got a big family. You're a great grandfather, right?
We have, I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Yeah.
7 great-grandkids, I think it is.
Wow.
With a brand new one just last week, Charlie Lynn. She's a week old yesterday.
And you look like you're 55.
Well, I am. She's old enough to be a great-grandmother, but I'm young enough to have married her.
There you go. Okay, so what we cooking and how did you perfect this?
You know that I like to cook in a lot of cook-offs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been cooking in chili cook-offs. That was the first thing that we started cooking in years ago. There's several of them around the area that raise money for different charities and what have you. So I just started cooking chilies, was successful at it, and in fact we host at the mall. We host the United Way Chili Cook-Off each year in November. Right. And that's usually 75, 80 teams, and it's a lot of fun to see if you can put something together that tastes just enough different to pique the judges'
We
attention.
did it one year and we came out second.
Yeah.
The first year we went, and that was pretty incredible. So we haven't been back.
So you
we said it's all downhill after that.
Yeah, I've cooked in it probably 21 years. I've got 5 top 3 places.
Nice.
So
You're
won
consistent.
it once. Yeah, won it once, 2 seconds and 2/3.
Not a bad
Cook the
gig.
same chili every year. Some years the judges like it, some years they don't.
Nah, well, you can't. You just, as long as you like it and your family likes it, that's all that matters.
That's it.
Well, let's start the break. We're gonna go, start up the Cajun grill. And we're gonna get ready to cook this chili. So y'all don't go nowhere. We're gonna be right back, and we're gonna be in the patio cooking on the Cajun grill, Chaffalaya deer chili. Welcome back to the show, boys and girls. Okay, Charlie. Okay, we got all the ingredients going into your Chaffalaya chili. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. First thing we got is bacon.
All right.
Everything's better when you do bacon. What I do is I'll brown that bacon off. You're cooking with deer meat, so it doesn't have a lot of fat.
Right, it's lean.
So it's very lean.
Right.
So the bacon grease not only tastes good, it helps add a little.
You need something to kind of grease the inside. Yeah, get it down.
So basically what we'll do is we'll brown the bacon, then we'll chop some onions and throw them in, saute the onions in the bacon and grease, and then we'll put the meat in on top of that and brown the meat with all the onions and the bacon all together.
Okay, so you got white onion. We're talking off camera. yellow onions versus white onion? You just like your white onions?
I like the flavor of a white onion, and I like the way it cooks down in the chili.
Right.
In a competition, you can't have anything but meat and gravy. So you want the onion to completely cook away and dissipate.
Right.
Same thing with the tomatoes and everything. Now, when we're cooking it at the camp, I don't cook it quite as long, and I put more in it because I like that chunk.
Right.
So it depends on whether it's a competition or whether you're cooking it to just eat at the camp with the guys before you play poker.
Okay. Now this is like you were talking about. It's a chaffalaya deer. Is it straight deer or is it
straight deer, ground? Some people mix it with pork. I do with some of my sausage. I'll do a 75-25 mix, 25% pork. But this is just straight ground deer. That's what I use for my chips.
Okay, and so, I mean, that's like a whitetail deer, right?
Yeah.
You can tell I'm not a big deer hunter. But I know you got elk. Some people go up and do big elk hunts, and you can use elk meat.
Yeah, and a lot of my competitions, I like to mix whitetail deer, elk, and wild pig. And that's generally what I cook in the United Way, cook off. But I don't get to go take the elk, so I have to,
beg
rely
other people.
on my friends that have time to go do that sort of thing.
Me too, bro.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, man. Okay, so you got the meat, then we got diced tomatoes.
Diced tomatoes. I used to use diced tomatoes and green chilies. Then I found out that nobody knows more about diced tomatoes and green chilies than Rotel.
Right.
So I just started adding a can of Rotel and cut the green chilies out.
Thing?
That's it.
You know?
And it's a lot easier.
And Rotel, if you want to sponsor the show, we're for hire. You know? And then you got the seasoning, which you got chili powder, salt, black pepper. I mean, what do you put in it?
Well, this is chili powder, but it's not. There's other stuff in here as well. I take a half a cup of chili powder.
Right.
I add a tablespoon of ground cumin.
Right.
Half a tablespoon of ground coriander.
Ooh.
Tablespoon of oregano, and I got this little pinch of stuff that I put in here that I can't tell you.
You can't tell me.
Can't tell you
or
what
you'd
that
have to like cut my fingers off.
Right.
Or something.
You know,
Okay,
that old saying, if I tell you, I got to kill you. You've heard that on this show
and we
before.
like breathing, so I just want to eat it.
Yeah. So.
And you got some garlic on the end over there.
Yeah. Well, I always put garlic in with the onions.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and cut some of this stuff. We're gonna throw it to break, and next time you'll see us, we'll be putting all this lovely ingredients in the pot. Don't go nowhere. Hey guys, welcome back. Charlie, we got the pit. Look, the pot's smoking. Got a nice hot pot.
Yep.
Put a little oil.
Put a little bit of olive oil in there to brown the bacon off in.
Okay. And you're gonna put the bacon in?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just about what?
That's a half a pound, and I just cut it in like 1/8-inch strips.
I'm just gonna render that down.
Just render it down.
Now you're saying in competition, you got to really cook it down.
In competition, we cook it all the way down because it can be no foreign substances, just meat and gravy.
Right.
But in eating it at the house, sometimes it doesn't hurt to get a little taste of bacon right in with it.
Right, and we're gonna speed this up. Normally you cook that down a little bit more. Next thing is the onion.
Yeah, but not all of them. Save just a little bit because we're gonna need some raw onions to top this chili off when we get to it.
Comme ça?
That's good. That's good. And of course, we're going to put some garlic in it, and it's closely measured, as you can see.
A little bit like that?
A little bit like that. Now we'll just saute this down till these onions welt good.
Yeah. Now we got it on in a Cajun grill. You ever cooked the chili on the Cajun grill?
I have not done this on the Cajun grill.
But you have a Cajun grill.
I have a Cajun grill. I cook on my Cajun grill.
And you're really good at cooking on your Cajun grill.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Most people like the cooking, but I've enjoyed it. I've been cooking on. In fact, my Cajun grill was y'all's original demo grill.
Right. And at the Acadian Village, they had a rice and gravy cook-off or something.
Right. They had a rice and gravy cook-off. I used it and wound up not bringing it back to you and buying it.
Because that's how we roll.
Yeah. And have recommended the Cajun grill to a lot of people. It's the most versatile grill I've ever cooked on.
Well, I think after you try this chili, are you going to add one more feature to your arsenal?
I have the insert.
You do have the insert?
My wife bought the insert for me for Christmas, but I haven't used it. I'm going to have to.
We're going to change that today.
Yeah.
All right, so after the onions and the bacon kind of marry down, and what would be the next step, just for conversation's sake?
We're going to put the meat in and brown the meat. As soon as the meat's done, then we'll add the green chilies and
Well,
tomatoes.
We can do that the next step. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about some of your competition experience cooking. I know we've cooked together as a team at the what was it, the Red Cross?
Yeah, Red Cross
Put
did
on a sanctioned
IBC,
event.
IBC cook-off. In fact, I've asked you to cook with me in June over at in Park Hardy in Brobridge
Right.
for
Coming
Louisiana
up
Jeepers is putting on a,
June,
yes,
early June.
early June.
Right.
The weekend before Father's Day, and it's a IBC sanctioned Louisiana State Championship.
So there'll be a lot
Barbecue
of
cook-off.
yeah. So this is what he's saying, guys. If you've never been to a sanctioned event, they got a lot of barbecue competition, but this is a sanctioned event. There'll be people from all around the southern part of the United States coming to compete and earn point totals to get invited to the next stage up in the competition.
This is a quarter qualifying event for Kansas City.
Right.
So-
So there'll be some serious rigs.
There will be some serious
smell
barbecue.
and some serious taste going on out in Brobridge, Louisiana. So y'all come out and meet us.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, why don't we throw this to break, because this is looking really good. Next step, we're gonna come back on camera, we're gonna add the meat and all some of the other chili peppers and all this other stuff, tomato stuff, and it's gonna
be ready to go.
We're going. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Charlie, smelling like a chili.
Yeah, it's supposed
Okay,
to.
we opened the cans, but before we add the wet ingredients, we're talking off camera. The thing about adding, cooking in a pot on your Cajun grill is you can add a chunk wood. That's actually hickory, but you can use peach, apple, cherry, whatever you want to accent the flavor. And when you close this lid, see how it's lighting right now, but as soon as I close this lid, it's just gonna smolder, and all that smoke flavor coming off that chunk wood is gonna get in the pot. Like I just caught a whiff of it. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
you
caught
can smell it already.
that hickory. So, but we just wanted to show you all that, and that's what we're gonna do with this chili. Now we're gonna lower the cold tray a little bit. We added the ground meat, the deer meat, and it's nice and brown, and it's all married up with the bacon and the white onions, and the smell is incredible, the garlic. And we had no other liquid, but I can see when you're stirring it, there's a lot of moisture at the bottom of the pot, so a lot of that probably came out the meat.
Add the meat and the onion.
The onion.
Right.
So the next step,
We're going to start adding our wet ingredients. We'll put the tomatoes
rotel,
with the rotel.
and this is diced tomatoes.
Yeah, I like to use diced. I have used pureed before, but I kind of like the way the diced.
So you don't
Cooks
use
down.
tomato sauce or tomato
No.
paste or nothing like that?
I don't.
You're
I
right.
like the flavor that I get from cooking down these whole diced up tomatoes.
Right. Yeah, because like stewed tomatoes in a can, they're more like whole,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So this is like stewed, but then they dice them
They
up.
dice them up. That helps them in cooking down.
Okay.
Remember, we're going to try to get it where there's nothing but meat and gravy when we get through.
Right. And it looks good, smells even better.
And then I usually put the seasoning in 2 layers. I'll put some on now, and then about an hour into the cook, I'll come back and put the rest in. So
Right.
we'll put about half of what we have here, about a 1/4 cup. Stir that in.
Now
and
most people would see that much seasoning, they freak out.
no,
I mean, chili powder really isn't that hot. It's more of like an accent flavor, and so is the cumin, right?
right.
It's not like you're putting cayenne in there.
That's all an accent. The only heat in this is going to be the rotel tomato.
With the jalapenos and the peppers and everything.
Right. Now, if you're looking for a 5-alarm chili, then you would want to add some jalapeno or some habanero to this, or I know a lot of
Chipotle,
people
yeah.
use Tabasco sauce.
Right.
Tablespoon or 2 of Tabasco sauce will heat this up pretty quick.
Okay. Now, me and you've talked about in judging, not that we're going to submit this to a judge panel or anything, but you told me, which I found very interesting, is that you got 2 different kind of heats. You got the heat like at the front of your mouth on your tongue, and then you got the heat in the back of your throat. Right.
Yeah. A good chili, once you swallow it, then you'll feel the heat in the back of your throat and the back of your tongue.
Right.
If you take a bite of chili and it starts burning from the front of your mouth back, like your skin's peeling off, you got too much heat.
Too much heat.
Too much heat. You don't want the heat from your peppers to
Right.
disguise the taste of the chili, the gravies that the meat and the onions and the tomatoes make.
Okay, so from beginning to end at this stage, how far, like if you're in your kitchen, How long would this have taken you, and how much further we got?
You'd be at about an hour in your
Right.
kitchen,
Right.
and I like to cook it for 3 hours.
3 hours. You got that? You can't rush love. You gotta slow it down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
season every 45 minutes to an hour
Right.
till you get, you taste it and see how much more you need.
Right.
Add if you need. If you don't, all it needs is eating then.
All right. Well, we got a few more things we got to throw in the pot. So you don't go nowhere. It's looking good, smelling better. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Charlie.
Hi.
Woo, smelling good. Let's take a little peek. There's not much we can do except just wait. But look at that. You got that nice little shimmer on top.
Yeah, that's that
Not a
little
lot
bit
of fat.
bacon grease. So
Not a lot of fat.
This is not a greasy chili by any means.
Right. We got the Cajun grill set on the lowest setting with the dampers completely shut. The oven temperature was about 350. So we're just percolating, we're simmering. And
letting
you
it
said
cook down.
off camera that we've only been cooking this about an hour, and this would have taken you like 2 hours to get to this
Maybe
point.
2.5 to get to this point on a conventional oven.
Because the heat's coming just from the bottom of the pot, whereas right here we're cooking from all the way
All
around.
the way around and on top.
360.
Yeah.
360 plus tax. Yeah. So okay, so this is just we'll let this go. Now I mentioned how you cooked in your host the Halliburton chili cook-off.
Well, it's actually United Way Chili Cook-Off.
Oh.
10 years for each oil field company that sponsors it. Right now, Frank's Casing Crew is
Okay, he's got the name in right. Okay.
for the next 10.
Okay, we want to give props to Frank's. And but we, like I said, we cooked in it 1 year, came out second.
Halliburton.
When it was the Halliburton off of Fou Filet back there. And let me tell you how it happened. One of the judges, when we submitted it, he came up to us. He said, there was something about, y'all came out second? Like, yeah, and I knew it was Jack Ainsworth.
Yeah.
He said, you did something different. What was that? I said, well, we smoked it with applewood. He goes, God, yeah, that was it. He said, I had it like a smoky flavor. And he said, what else did y'all have in there? And I said, well, we took some duck breast that we had thawed out. We didn't pre-season, didn't marinate it. We just cubed it up into some nice little 3/4, half-inch cubes. And right before we served it to the judges, we topped it into there and just blanched it. Just served it real quick, stirred it around, and then put it in the plate. And by the time we got to the judges, like, you eat duck like a medium rare.
Right.
And he said it was incredible. But what we were joking with one of our partners, we were competing against him, and he kept opening up our lids, and we kept saying, look, dude, you're dumping my heat. You're messing up my stuff, man. And he said, well, I'm just checking on y'all, making sure y'all doing it right. Well, when he wasn't watching, we took a Mesh's chocolate donut, and we set it on, we floated it on top of the
your
chili, and we closed the lid. He knew he was coming, and he came and he made sure we weren't looking, and he opened it, and that chocolate had melted off the donut. And he goes, what the heck is that? And I said, well, that's our secret ingredient, man. Now you know what we did. And so when Jack came, he said, besides the smoke, there was just something else y'all put in there, like chocolate. And I said, no, we don't put chocolate in our chili. He said, well, a lot of people put chocolate or sugar in their chili to kind of
Coca-Cola, some people do.
kill the acid. And he said, no, it was a distinctive chocolate flavor. I said, oh, it was the Mesh's donut. And we won second place.
That had to be 02.
About that.
Yeah, because I was in Detroit doing a
that.
job then, and I didn't get to cook in it that year. That's probably the only reason you played.
And we were, probably, thank you, Charlie. And we were just standing around, and when they called our name, the same guy that claimed that he was just checking on us that we were competing against, a good friend of ours, Darryl Young, he started, I object, because there was two levels. There was domestic or straight up chili, and one was wild game, exotic. And he said, that's an exotic. Y'all had y'all's in the regular chili. Y'all got duck in it. I said, man, that's a tame duck. Nothing exotic about that. So I tell you what, it's looking good. We ain't got much left to do except taste it.
Yeah, all it needs is eating now.
So did we forget anything?
I don't believe so. Again, just kind of taste it as you're cooking it. Adjust your seasonings to your own taste.
Right.
When it's ready, take it out and eat it.
Okay, and you said one time you were doing it and you needed a thickening agent, and what did you use?
I crushed up some Fritos. Everybody likes a Frito pie. Crushed up Fritos and used like a corn mesa, made a corn mesa out of it.
Yeah, like a cornmeal.
Yeah, put it in. It thickened the chili, and it also gave it that flavor of a
like a Frito
pie. So
without no Fritos.
Without
but it was in there. You just couldn't see it.
Just couldn't tell.
Wow.
So,
See, and that's
just
all.
something to get that different taste is what you're looking for.
And that's what I tell people. Learning from you how to do a chili is no different than us sitting in the back porch and me sharing with you how I do my brisket. It's just tweaking it and finding what you like.
Right.
So, and you just playing with that chili. You've never done that, but you probably do it again, maybe.
I probably will.
Yeah.
That might be the new secret ingredient.
Hey.
Until we said it on TV. Now who knows?
I keep prying him for that secret ingredient in that seasoning. He won't tell me.
I ain't giving that up.
I'm staying on him. So y'all don't go nowhere. When we come back, it's time to eat. We'll see. Hey guys, welcome back. Charlie's done.
It's time. All it needs is eating.
All we need to do is eat it. All right, so why don't we grab you stir it. I'm gonna grab a couple of bowls over here. Now we normally put like a little Cheetos in the bottom, Fritos.
Yeah, Fritos in the bottom, a layer of chili, and then some chopped white onions on the top.
All right, so I got a little Fritos on the bottom. I got the ladle. Come in here and put a little bit of this on there. There you go. Nice. And you can put cheese condiments on top,
if you wanted to add shredded cheese, your favorite
jalapenos, whatever you want.
Jalapenos, just whatever your taste is. What you want to do.
So we got some beautiful white onions over here. Put a little bit of that on top. I've been nibbling on that the whole cookout.
You notice it's got a little heat to that.
It does.
That kind of helps with
when you put it straight. Yeah, when you put it straight in your mouth, it's got a little bit of bite to it. So I don't know, man. Can y'all smell this?
Nothing smells like a good bowl of chili.
Comfort food. Yeah. So you ready?
There you go, bro.
Bon appetit.
That'll work. That will work.
It's just smooth, you know? And like you said, there's not a lot of heat up in the front, but you can kind of feel it when it hits the back of your throat.
Yeah, it'll sneak up on you just a little bit, but it won't hurt you to eat.
Oh no. So this can be, you can tweak this so much. A good chili. You know, this is a good base, but I mean, like what I was talking about, you can put cubed duck breast, you can put seafood in it, I'm sure. You ever tried seafood?
I haven't, but I've seen some of the guys do that in some of the competitions.
Yeah?
With crawfish in it. And
man, nothing like a good chili. Well, I tell you what, guys, Charlie, you're a good friend, and you're a better cook. I hope you guys enjoyed us bringing this, and you know, we'll be bringing you more. So stay tuned. We'll see you on the next side.